Good morning, peeps. I'm going to take a moment really quick to adjust this so you're not seeing like mostly the wall instead of me. Also wanted to jump over to the event to make sure everybody knows that we are hanging out right now. So come on over. Let's see. Here's this. And I'm gonna mute myself over here so you don't hear me like 3 times. Let's see. So copy this. Let's see. Where is the event anyways? Events, here we are. And this is our event today because I'm starting it. Technically, I'm supposed to be here at 10:45, but I'm a little early so that I can do all the technology stuff. So if you're gonna hang out with me because that's cool. And I'm just gonna mention like, hey, we are here. Oh, what the heck just happened? I tell you what, things are crazy. This Mooney stuff is a little bit nuts too. But let's see. Good morning. Join me now. Over here is what I'm going to put. So if you see this pop up in your feed, it's just me reminding all the other peeps to come on and head over here. Anyway, so there's that. And then let's see, I'm going to go back and share it into, I'm going to share it over into my business page so that if I can do that, let's see, public share page. There we go. There's hammering going on. We have happy, messy, happy. I'll just do this. La la la, paste. Oops, that's not working. This is what you get to see behind the scenes, you guys, before like when I'm doing all this, and it's like totally not interesting. But I swear to goodness, I have a lot to share with you because we have a lot going on. We have a new moon, we have a solar eclipse, we have all kinds of energy that's like doing things, but at the same time, it's kind of like, what, you know, what is really going on? So I want to talk about all that kind of stuff and how to navigate it. I have a freebie I want to share with you that I think you're going to love. And that will be happening for Solstice. So in about a week. No, I don't want to create an event. I want you to publish my thingy. Facebook is just, okay. So having that done over there, hopefully that posted correctly, but probably, I don't know. I may have to just upload everything, but that's okay. Totally okay. So welcome. And you'll notice I will go over the announcements above. If you are here live with me, just say hello and hit a like or a love. And remember, sharing is caring. So if you have somebody that you know is going to love this, let me see. Oh, this is friends only. We want to turn that off and make this public so you guys can share around if you want. So if you love this, go ahead and say, I love this, and I'm going to share it around to all of my beloved friends. And, or share it on your page if this is helpful for you. Hey, Meredith. Hey, Julia. Hey, Karina. I got my Long Islanders and my Londoners or my UKers in the house. Whoop, whoop. Yay. So today we're going to do a couple of different things. So I'm going to move this because I was just on my mini mastermind that I do on Mondays. I don't run it, so don't think you're missing anything. Well, you are because it's awesome, and Coach Jenny runs it, and so I joined her on her Monday. It's called the Moxie Call, and we joined, and that's what I had to hop off so I could come over and hang out with y'all. So here's the thing: we are in a new moon today. And in fact, I think it's like we're doing this when the new moon energy is kind of really peaking. So if you feel a little bit like, I woke up today feeling somewhat disconnected from my physicalness, but I had a lot of downloads today. A lot of times people talk about how, oh, well, the new moon, it just kicked my ass, or the full moon, it just kicked my ass. Honestly, I don't want to say that it's kicking ass at all. I feel a lot of energy going on, but it's so different right now. And I think that's due to the eclipse. I think it's due to the solstice. I think it's due to the shifting from one one way of being, because we're shifting literally at the in a week, shifting from age of Piscean to age of Aquarius, which I'm excited for, but again, there's always, labor pains as you go from one to the other. So I wanted to pull a card for the new moon. I wanted to pull a card for the eclipse, and then I want to tell you some stuff. If you did not see my little graphic and my source energy, that was channeled straight from source this morning as I sat in my meditation. It's pretty short. Um, if you want to share that out, please feel free. Would love for you to do that. It's for everyone who comes across it. But that and kind of expand on that notion, and then also share with you my gift that I want to share with you guys for next week with the solstice. So I'm excited about that too. Anyway, so let's get started. So what I'm going to do is the new moon card is going to be an animal card. And then, and this has been guided, this is spirit guide me. And then the eclipse card is going to be a Shiro's journey card, because I feel what spirit basically said was the new moon is about nurturing, and animals, the animal deck is so very nurturing and very gentle and soft. Not every message is gentle, but it's gentle in the sense of like, I can cuddle with this. And then secondly, the eclipse, and again, I am not an astrologer. Highly encourage you to either hang out with your favorite astrologer I follow. Of course, I always talk about Jackie Felix, who is amazing. And then Michael Lennox, who I love tons, and Ann Ortley. And if you can catch her on the Astrology Hub YouTube, it's usually up on Tuesdays. She's a great astrologer to follow too. But anyways, this what I'm sharing with you is more the energetics of what I'm feeling, messages from spirit, as opposed to like as on the astrological things happening. They will be more accurate in the whole, like, here's what this star means, that thing in your house of this, that. I don't talk about that stuff. This is more about the energy of the happenings. Okay. So I feel like this eclipse is like, it's one of those things where it's really going to show you all of the stuff that you need to finally just kind of get rid of. It's also going to show you all of the, accomplishments or successes. And by successes, we're not necessarily talking about job successes. I define success in a different way. I define it by saying getting really clear on your purpose and your alignment with spirit. And did you kind of live your life in that alignment? If you say yes, then you're successful. If not, then maybe there's some work to be done, but it has nothing to do with how much money you make on your tax forms at the end of the year. It's really more about, were you aligned with how you want to live your life and how you want to choose to experience this human thing? And I think this eclipse is going to show you all that kind of stuff. So it feels a lot, there's a lot of energy, but the whole thing is softer. It feels a lot like it's time to hatch. It's time to hatch out of the cocoon. And that isn't always pretty. I mean, if you've ever seen a birth, whether it be a human baby, a chicken baby, a moth, or a butterfly from a caterpillar, everybody's kind of slimy and gross right out the gate. But then you kind of get your act together and keep going. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to say to our cards, we're going to use the animal deck. And again, that's this one. If anybody wants, I can put a link in the comments for it. But we're going to say, okay, what do we need to know to navigate this new moon with grace and ease? Okay, so we're going to pull this card for this. And if you hear hammering, our maintenance people are outside. See, it's such a glam life, living the woo life here. Our maintenance people for our HOA are outside doing a lot of pre-winter work. So if you hear hammering, I apologize. So let's see, what do we need to know to navigate this new moon with ease and grace? And I think this is our card. Oh, yes. This is so funny. So it's elephant spirit. Learn from the past. And that's not to be admonishing by any means. It actually aligns with what I just said. It's a review. It's time to say, what can I appreciate? Because a lot of times we're like, we reflect on the year and we're like, 2020 was a clusterfuck, right? But the fact is that it's not really. When you think about it, yes, there were challenging times, but it's creating resilience in our spirit. It's creating loving actions towards your fellow human, which honestly have been kind of sparse lately, right? It's creating space for us to make choices if we want to be in a loving mindset or in a fear based mindset. Learning from the past so we can reflect and say, okay, what worked for me and what didn't work for me? What did I discover in spending so much time with myself that I could really totally let go of? And what did I discover that I need to embrace? And what did I discover that I was using as like an a coping mechanism that turned into an addiction just to get by, which when you kind of hang out with yourself long enough, shit gets real and you can't BS yourself anymore. So as far as this new moon, I would encourage you to maybe journal. And it's weird because normally I'm very big on, oh, set all the intentions and do all the things. And yes, I would love to see you do that. But I think the real work here is more about saying to self, what happened this year that either I can say, I'm going to take the trash out on that one, that I can say, um, I learned here where I was successful in the context of where did I align with who I really am? And maybe journal out why is all of that important for me to really see who I now am in a much more clear way. So learning from the past in that sense. And I think this whole year has been really big about it, has been really big about teaching us how resilient we are, how much more loving we can be towards ourselves and towards other folks. When we choose to understand that, to quote Spock, the good of the many does not outweigh the good of the one sometimes, that we all are here together, and the fact is that, yes, we've been very separate, but we've found ways to connect because we are connectivity kind of people. And I don't just mean here, I mean in general. People have started writing letters again. People have like found ways to connect. Like I know I have like a texting group with this one and a texting group with that one. So like I still have my connectivity with folks. So look at the past and journal about the blessings of this year, because we focus a lot. It's real easy to figure out which things sucked ass. Okay. I mean, we all could sit here and have a list as long as our arm. But if we can focus on what we can take into the new year that we really want to take with us to put in that suitcase and go on that next trip, and what things need to go in the dumpster because and then lit on fire so that we don't carry that luggage full of crap. When I used to go on trips with my mom, I remember when I was a kid, and the day after Thanksgiving we lived in Long Island, we would go to the Meadowlands area in Jersey. I think it was Meadowlands, where all of the real outlet were. None of this outlet. We didn't have outlet malls back then. You went to the back of the warehouses where they made all this stuff. And so we would go there and get such deals, but you had to clean your closet out before you left so that you could put awesome new things in your closet that you got on such a deal. It was almost like how men go hunting. That's what it was like for us, except we didn't kill anything. It was, we'd get there and we'd have really good deals like sequin dresses that I never wore, but I got them anyways, it's that kind of stuff. Whereas, what am I doing to clear away so that I can go into next year with this eyes of wonder, a heart of wonder, of clearing a space, because you can't keep shoving stuff in the closet and expecting it to be organized and stay neat if you don't clear it out sometimes. So when we clear out stuff, we have to review what's in there, what happened this year, learn from the past. Okay. Our next card is going to be about the eclipse. So what do we need to know about this eclipse? Navigate it with ease. Let's pull this out. This card is hopping. Now, yes. So, okay. Now, mind you, these are, I call them, they're called the hero's journey. I call them the hero's journey because I'm a woman and that's what I want to do. Anyway, divine discernment, step back to find clarity. I love this card. And again, it's more about stepping back, like reconnecting with spirit. Take the day and start. I think it's like the eclipse is happening sometime today. It might be in the nighttime. I don't know where I live, but it's cloudy as hell here. So whether it's happens or, here or not, I don't know if I'll be able to see it just because it's overcast. But anyway, um, connecting with your divine inner self. Now, you hear me say things like, you are an extension of divine source energy. Like that means, like, here's my hand, here's source, God, whatever you call it, and here's you. So, like, here's me, here's Meredith, here's Julia, here's Karina, here's everybody. Like, do you see what I mean? We are extensions. We are one, the law of oneness, but we are extensions of this. And we a lot of times forget that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. A lot of times people are either deciding to compartmentalize. They're either in their upper chakras hanging out in their spiritual experience, or they're going to work, drinking their coffee, cussing the people in traffic, having their human experience. You have to remember, my darlings, you are a spiritual being having a human experience. You cannot compartmentalize that whole beingness of yourself and have a full experience, okay? And going into next year, I feel like that's the message of this eclipse. Start reconnecting with your divine self to get the clarity you want, to get the clarity you need, so that you can make intuition-driven, soul purpose-driven decisions of how you're going to navigate next year. I have a lot of folks, and I'm not like, this is not me going hawking my thing here. I'm just saying, all my folks that have signed up for their 2021 New Year's readings, which, by the way, don't have any spots left anymore. So, I'm just saying what I'm seeing across the thing. It's like, there's a lot of soul lessons still to be learned. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. But they're not as harsh as this year. They're much more, if you connect to your intuition, if you connect to your source energy self, if you start living with the understanding that you're always manifesting. It's not when you want a new car or $100 to make your rent payment or any of that crap that you see where it's like one and done, where it's really much more around, I live a life that manifests intentionally because I know I am the only thinker in my mind. No person, place, or thing has any control over me. And I am choosing to be in love, to be in surrender, to be in gratitude, to be in receiving mode of all of the things that I can dream of. And just because you dream of something today doesn't mean you're not going to dream something tomorrow. I may want to go to the mountains today in East Tennessee, but that doesn't stop me from saying, maybe I want to go to the mountains in Scotland, which, by the way, I do because, I love me some Outlander. Oh, hey, Helen. Helen's an Outlander fan. I know, because she and I talked about it because, yeah, that Jamie Fraser, he's a hottie, ain't he? Anyway, but you can always expand. You can always ask for more. That is never ending. So the eclipse energy, one of the messages is to take home is get back to your divine discernment. That means to me, number one way to do that is meditation. Even when I went to an Abraham conference, he or she, I don't know, Abraham was saying, hey, Aline, Abraham was saying, look, the one way to get closer to source energy, to your source energy, to the fact that you are source energy manifested in human form, is to meditate. Why? Because the human world that we live in, the material world, is, fraught with distraction, fraught with people saying, let me have your attention so that you'll come buy my thing, whether it's buy my story, buy my product, buy my service, buy this, whatever. Everybody's trying to get your attention so that they can try to sway you. And the fact is, don't you want to sway you? You don't want other, I'm all for advertising for people to say, hey, look over here. This might be something that interests you. That's the way I roll. But you watch TV these days and you have all this craziness up there that are scaring the hell out of people to get them to buy something. And that's not how we need to roll anymore, because as we move into the age of Aquarius, we're going to have a much softer way of being. And honestly, I don't think that kind of marketing is going to resonate with people anymore. I honestly feel like you're going to be so connected to your source energy particle to your God particle system, your GPS system. See what I did there? That kind of stuff, not only won't it not resonate, it'll almost be repulsive in all of the senses of that word, like like a repulsion from something, moving you away from it because you're like, ugh, don't tell me how to be, kind of a thing. So I feel like these two things here are really start journaling about the stuff that you have as blessings. Even if somebody else might see it as, not a blessing, that doesn't mean you don't write it down, because the fact is that it's not about what other people think. It's about what you think. Because when I say my house flooded twice and it was destroyed twice and I had to rebuild it twice because I was homeless twice, people go, oh my God. And I'm like, no, it was a blessing. You should see my downstairs. I have a stacked stone fireplace and a Downton Abbey staircase in a condo. So I am a happy little clam. And it would not have happened had those floods not happened. All right? So if we can look at the things that made us more resilient, that made us more grateful for our blessings, both externally and internally, and by internal blessings, I mean the work you have done on self in your awareness to know what I'm going to get rid of and what I'm going to keep going into next year, all of that kind of stuff. So writing those journal things right now, and then also meditation, and maybe in those meditations, sitting down and saying, what do I want for next year? It doesn't even have to be a thing. It might be a feeling. It might be the newer version of you that you want to step into. Start thinking and keep your journal nearby so you can jot this stuff down, because it's that nice time. Because writing down your intentions on the new moon isn't like, oh, I want a new car and an apartment and, a trip to Manhattan and all this business. It might be, you know what? I want to strive for more calm and peace in my life. I want to be able to take a trip somewhere that really just moves my heart. I want to be a better version of myself than I am now. What does success look like for me? Oh, well, it looks like where, I can walk through my life feeling so aligned that nobody can knock me off my high-flying disc. So when we set our intentions under this new moon, make them more about not so much, I'm not going to poo-poo on wanting different things that are material, but mix it up a little bit. Start really understanding that it might be more energetically aligned to start thinking about, what do I want to intend for myself as I move into this new year? Okay. So those are your cards for today. We have the Divine Discernment that supports us through the eclipse, and then the Elephant Spirit for the new moon. Okay. And lastly, I want to go over some housekeeping, because I'm excited that you're here, and I want to just share some stuff, which just so you know, and it's in the post up here, but I'm going to share it because sometimes people don't like to read. They like to just hang out and talk. So first things first, I will be closed between the 22nd and actually I wrote February 4th. No, I will be open on January 4th, which is a Monday. So I'm going to edit that, but it's January 4th. But you can still make appointments if you want to grab you a session so that you start off January. There's a way to have the single session appointment, and I have the link up in the top here. Secondly, if you have any woos in your life that you love and you will still need a last minute stocking stuffer for them, and you've already bought crystals and smudge sticks and all the things, I wrote a book. Did you know I wrote a book? I wrote a book. It's called 7 Steps to Manifesting Your Dream Life, and it's on Amazon. You can buy it and hug it and squeeze it and call it your favorite thing, and then share it with your favorite woo, and it rolls up nice, and you tie a little red ribbon around it, and you shove it in their stocking, and it helps them. And you know me, it's not like some glitter-covered BS kind of manifesting book. It's like, here's the practical steps how you do this, because that's the one question I always get. How do I do this? How do I do this? And it's literally less than 100 pages, easy read, and you can cuddle up with it. It's, so there's that. And then lastly, I have a free gift for everybody, not just because you're watching, but anyone who sees this. And as I go through the week, I'll be sharing it in my email newsletter, which if you want to be on my newsletter, PM me. Don't post your email below, because I want to make sure your privacy is preserved, since this is a public post. Just PM me and let me know your email address. I'll put you on the list. But for the email newsletter, if you want, I am going to be doing my very first meditation circle. I have never done this before, but Source woke me up at 3 o'clock this morning, and this is one of the things they downloaded to me. I mean, there's a bunch of stuff that I can't talk about because I was like, what the hell does any of that mean? But this one was clear. So what we're going to do is something called decluttering your inner space to welcome the winter solstice. Now, in a lot of my readings over this month, and whether it be here with me or on your private reading, the frog animal card has come up, decluttering has come up. And not decluttering like your outer space, but literally decluttering your inner space, getting rid of old labels. So say you heal some trauma, right? But you're holding on to a label because you don't know what is it going to be like if I let go of this label, which still means that you're holding on to that trauma a little bit because you don't know where you're supposed to go. And that's a fear thing. And I want to give you that love energy to be okay to let that label go so you can create space to not relabel yourself, but to choose how you want to thrive going into this new age of Aquarius, which we will kind of cross the threshold of on the 21st. So we're going to do this on the 20th, and that way you're prepared come the 21st, because I've had people in readings be like, well, what do you mean? Like, should I call the college hunks hauling junk or whatever? And I'm like, well, you could do that, and that's great, especially if you got shit all over the house. But I'm talking also about that. Yes, get your literal physical clutter out because it's a representation of your inner clutter. But what this is going to be is a channeled meditation circle for everybody who wants. You just sign there's a link there. I'm going like here, like you see this. It's up here. And you just come, and I will be doing a meditation and maybe a little talk. Maybe it's 30 minutes. We're not talking a long time. This Sunday, the 20th at 3 p.m. Central Time. And I would love for you to be there as a gift. I'm giving this to you for, just as a gift because I love you and I want you to be set up for success moving into this new era. So we're going to do that on Sunday at 3 Central. So I think that's kind of late for our folks in the UK. But if you're a night owl, it's, I think, 9 p.m. So it's not like 2 in the morning, like some things. But it might be something good for you to do right before bed. But anyway, so that's happening. So those are the 3 things that I have to share with you, plus our messages for today. And again, if you want to be on the mailing list so that you get the weekly info, as I do send like a weekly little message, like a meme. I send what's going on, any, sharing, I love me some coupons. So I'll share anything that I find there too, and any specials I'm running. So make sure if you want to be in the know for all that stuff, PM me on here. Just send me like a messenger messagey thing. And let me know what your email is. Don't post it in the comments. You can post all kinds of love in the comments you want, but don't post your personal information in the comments on a public post. I'm like really big because I want everybody to preserve the privacy, okay? So that's it. It's 11 and I did go we're almost at 30 minutes. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Please go ahead and share this wherever you feel called to do so, on your page, in groups you love, with friends, and anyways, enjoy this new moon energy. Enjoy this new moon eclipse energy. I know it feels big. It's very strange, I think, huh? It feels kind of big, but in a soft and gentle, nurturing way. So just kind of ride that as you move through the next week or two, okay? And I will see you next Monday for Messy Bun Monday, which it'll be in Christmas mode. I'll be wearing my Christmas socks. I haven't watched Elf yet. But if you have not seen Godmothered, watch that. If you have not seen, I think it's Jingle Jangle on Netflix. Oh my God, you guys. I am the queen of Christmas movies. So if you have not seen that one, oh, so good. It's a musical. The music is fantastic. The whole cast is wonderful. Highly recommend Jingle Jangle. And Godmother on Disney Plus is adorable. So make sure you go see both of those. And I'll see you guys next week. And that's it. And join the Winter Solstice Meditation Circle, okay? So I will see you there. I love you. Hey, Nella. Hey, Meredith. Hey, Nikki. I feel like I'm on Romper Room. I'm looking through my little mirror saying hello to everybody. I love you, Nella. I am grateful for you. You do wonderful things in your community. And I love y'all. Hey, Kyle. Oh, my God. I love you. Ready for the holiday realness? Hell yes. Let's do this. But I love all of you so much, sending you so much love this week. Enjoy your week. Stay safe, mask up, but be with yourself, be with others in love, and just take care of yourself, take care of others. And I will see you soon. Love you. Mwah. Bye, y'all.